What? What is?
You guys do the same exact thing.
Dude, I can do the exact thing my mom does in the mirror. I can do it. She goes,
God, yeah, I know. Mom, you this.
Keep putting it behind the ears.
Janet Diaz is an icon.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do too, Mom.
All right.
It's cute.
All right, are we live?
We live.
Oh my God, you guys.
You want to tell them what happened?
Should we?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I am not only the host of this podcast.
It was Vicky's fault. She forgot to hit record.
No.
But
she hooked up the mics all backwards and everything fucked up.
No.
But I am also the production assistant. And I, the first hurdle we had to come run over was my, not so, what would you call it? Not so precise job of putting everything together.
She did pretty good. In her defense, I'm going to have to come clean, okay? I text Vicky really early this morning. I'm going to come clean and be honest. Because I was ready, okay? I was ready to pod. I sat down after a shower. My girl was watching some Greg's Anatomy. I got into the episode. Then the next one came on. I got into that episode. Me and my girl got into a nice conversation. Got into that. A couple hours passed. Then I finally got ready. But during that, Vicky took it up on herself to try to put the pod together the best way she could. And, yeah.
Let me go ahead and remix your morning with me and Vicky's morning.
Okay.
Because, mind you, they're happening in parallel times.
They are.
Okay, me and Vicky wake up early, 8:30, because we want to go work out. But we know today is a day where we're going to record our podcast. So we want to be home early.
Okay.
We want to be home by 10 so we can get ready, be ready by 12.
Okay.
12 rolls by, people. It rolls by. And so does 1 o'clock. And so does 2 o'clock.
No, 2 o'clock doesn't roll by.
And so does 2:15.
No, it doesn't.
I'm telling a story, Richard.
Okay.
Then 2:30. Finally, Richard rolls up. Who knows what time it is anymore? We don't check the clock anymore. It's just a disappointment.
Oh, okay.
He comes in. Vicky is flustered.
Oh, yeah, she is.
And Richard tries
I'm actually calm.
Richard,
which is a little scarier.
yeah, he tries to be silly. And be like, come on, Vicky, don't be like that. Don't be grouchy. And I'm in my room shaking my head.
Classic Richard.
Shakes my head in my room. And I'm going to stop there.
Do you know I even called Allie? I was like, did he leave yet?
Dude, what'd she say?
She's like, yeah, he left. I was like, okay. I was like, how long ago? She goes, about 10 minutes. I was like, I was like, okay, thank you, bye. Mind you, I've been calling Richard. Whatever. We've already reset my vibe, your vibe.
Well, that's not all that happened.
Oh, God.
Oh, go ahead with the excuses.
So, no, I'm saying, I'm telling you.
A.
What did
So
I
we've
say?
also been potting for 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that was the story we were going to tell.
It was great. It was fun. Kind of funny. We were just potting to ourselves.
It was great.
Yeah.
It's fine, guys. It's fine.
Something's going on.
It's fine. Yeah, exactly. Something's going on. We're going to get back into it. All
Looked
right.
like I was recording.
I know. Richard, I'm not holding you accountable for this.
All right.
I'm not worried about it. All right, let's do this one more time. Welcome back. You're listening to another episode of Short But Not Sweet. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I'm forever grateful for that. I am your unapologetic and left brain of this brilliant project. Host, Vix. I have my nearest and dearest. I got my squad here with me. I got my right brain, who also happens to be my producer, who is very late today. Richard, you know what to do.
Hello.
That's all the energy you're gonna give me because I said you were late.
I already did it.
Just own it. You were late. Own it.
No. We gotta.
I came clean.
Hold up. Yeah, you're right. Hold up. We gotta keep the same energy, even though it's.
Yeah, we're not looking for hello. Try again.
But for both of you, we're doing this a second time, and we're gonna show up and show out. So, Richard, you know what to do.
What's up?
There we go. I have my brilliant younger sister, because no one thinks she's younger than me, but I am the oldest. I have my brilliant sister here, Christina. Christina, you know what to do.
What's up, folks?
All right. We are only here to offer perspective. You can take it or leave it, but we said what we said, and that's our insurance. All right, guys. We're going to get into our high and lows one more time. One more time. All right. Should I go first again, or do one of y'all want to go first? I'm going to go first.
No, because I feel like it's redundant. I do want to say something.
We're going to do our highs and lows. We do it every episode.
Let's do it. No. Let's do the highs and lows, but I do want to say something before we get into the highs and lows.
Okay.
That's a low for both of us, or all of us. It should be.
What is?
And I don't want to accuse anybody.
Okay.
You know where I'm going.
You know what I decided I'm going to do this episode? I'm going to look in when I want to make a face about anything anyone says, I'm going to look in this camera. Okay. What
So I stumbled upon a podcast.
Oh. So you want to do your low first?
It's a mixture of both. It's
I
a
think
high
it
and
is.
a low.
I agree. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
But it's a real low for them. I stumbled upon a podcast on a major platform.
Yeah.
On a, semi-known network. They have a lot of podcasts. I'll just keep it there.
Yeah.
Released on the 19th, they dropped a pod. Mm-hmm. They had a segment. It was really similar to a segment that we dropped 4 days prior.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Almost identical.
In the beginning, yeah.
I think that's fucking corny. I'm not going to put them on blast now. I'm not going to say any name or anything like that, but know that if that was the case, I'm willing to chalk it up to coincidence now.
Okay.
If that was the case, we do have receipts.
Yes.
Everything is time-stamped and
right.
dated.
Right.
We're on every major platform. Check us out on YouTube if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So it's there. And you're corny as fuck if you're sniping from other podcasts. So I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah. But what you're referring to, can we just name what we were talking about? Or you want to leave that out?
No, you could definitely say what we were talking about.
The busted challenge.
Yeah, we were talking about it, but let's leave these corny motherfuckers out.
Yeah, I'll leave them out of it. But you're referring to our busted challenge conversation.
Right.
Yeah, the ideals were very similar. Honestly, if we were sniped, I think that, I don't know, I'm kind of okay. Yeah, you watching out for us.
I'm not flattered.
I'm a little flattered. But I'm also like Christine and I were talking about it yesterday, and she was like, well, busted challenge is kind of a thing right now.
Right, so I'm willing to chalk it up to coincidence.
Right. But you're just putting the disclaimer out there, if you did this.
If that's the case, that's corny.
Yeah.
And I'm more of the theory that it's just a common topic.
I feel it.
But it's okay to have different opinions. Right?
Well, that's what we're all about.
That's what I'm saying. That's my opinion, but I hear what you're saying.
But that's how you kind of that's a typical opinion.
I think I'm a little bit of a realist, but pessimist realist.
But you also tend to give people the benefit of the doubt with things.
I do.
But Richard also does, and Richard is not doing that this time, which I think is interesting.
Because
you always will give someone the benefit of the doubt.
Right, and because I come from music, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I feel like it's this is a podcast. We're not going to go through the same woes that musicians go through, but some of the same bullshit goes on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I feel the need to do these disclaimers. Last week, the disclaimer was mind your fucking business. You have no place to tell anybody anything about anything. So that was last week. This week, it's like the same thing in music. When you know people can go and snipe, like we're putting ourselves, but this disclaimer is necessary. So I'm saying what I'm saying. We said what we said.
So we said.
Right. So just know if you feel the need to come to this pod and pick up some ideas or some language or whatever, I'm not letting that shit ride.
Okay. I don't know. I'm a little like, if that was the case, I'm like, okay. Like, let me be the one to watch out for. So, like, let's go.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but I'm also glad. But that is your personality to be protective. Whereas I'm like,
Right.
This is new for me. That's kind of exciting. Even if that had nothing to do with anything else, it's cool to be like on the same like wavelength.
Yeah. Because
And
like
be
I
ahead
said,
of the curve because we released our episode first.
in music, like you don't do that.
Yeah.
You do not.
Yeah.
Steal ideas.
Mm-hmm.
That's corny.
Mm-hmm. Music really is not okay with that.
And that's all I know. So I can't really operate differently. Yeah.
I feel you, but I appreciate that you're protective over this project because it's important to both you and I and Christina.
For sure.
So I appreciate that. All right, should we go with lows first then?
All right, let's switch it up.
Yeah, let's switch it up. We always do lows. Let me see. So this kind of plays into one of Christina's highs, but she was able to work out every week, and there was every day, and there was a day where I missed out because I decided to be a dumb bitch and do China Slim Tea, and it had me messed up for 24 hours. So it was disgusting.
Yeah.
Gross. I felt like liquid shit. I will never do that again.
Very descriptive.
I am real descriptive. Liquid shit.
Very descriptive.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say about that. But that was pretty much the only low I had this week, which I think is good compared to anything else. And something that I'm just like looking ahead at is like we have Kobe's anniversary is coming up. Today's the 24th. It's coming up, and that was really difficult, but I want to highlight that he left quite the legacy. And prayers and good thoughts, good vibes up to the Bryant family, but that was a hard time for us. Do you remember that last year?
That was a very hard time.
You and I could not talk about it for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It was very difficult.
I remember where it was. It was in the studio. I was working on something, and it was it. I picked up my shit and left. It was that serious.
I was in the kitchen making a pizza, and you texted me, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. That was really difficult.
People don't really like. No, I shouldn't say that. But isn't it wild how difficult that was?
It was very difficult.
It was very tragic.
And like for everyone, even if you're not a basketball fan, even if you're don't even know who sports fan, like you know who Kobe Bryant is, and that was hard. And like I remember the night before, weren't we? We went to Cake Barbecue, and he was at the Philly game for the Lakers.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What do you mean we just saw him?"
Right.
And
That's
Philly, if you don't know, is his hometown.
Right.
That was the craziest part, that we had just saw him.
Yeah.
That's very tragic. It's very sad.
Extremely tragic.
I remember it being a silent day. I remember reading the articles. I remember seeing on the news, but I remember the day was silent for me. And I'm not a huge basketball fan, but I do understand the legacy of Kobe.
Yeah.
I understand.
And that is
It was tragic.
that's the power and impact he had.
Exactly.
Like,
I respect Kobe a lot. And I'm not a huge sports fan, but
That's crazy too, because like do you know about Michael Jordan?
oh, of course.
Do you have the same, you don't know about basketball, but you've known who Kobe is. Do you feel the same way about a Michael Jordan?
Like, don't get me wrong. I do know about sports history. I do know actually a lot about sports history, especially from the racial, racist lens. That was something I studied in college a lot. I just don't care for sports at all. I don't watch it. I don't care. I don't bet on it. Nothing. But I understand the legacy of Kobe, and that was a tragic, tragic day.
Yeah, no, I for sure. I wasn't asking, for, like to question your knowledge of sports, but like Kobe, I think everybody knows Jordan, but man, like I don't know that we would have felt the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a really weird thing to say, but I don't.
We
Like,
wouldn't have felt the same way if what?
If that were like Jordan in that position, or
I think in the last couple of years, like in the last decade, Kobe had to overcome a lot of things. He had a whole scandal that he had to overcome, and he did it. And he did it with grace, and he did it with humility, and he owned up to his actions. And you saw the impact it had on his family, and how clearly him and Vanessa were working through it. And like you saw how even she received him after all was said and done. And she was like, I love this man. Like, he messed up, but I love this man.
Yep.
I think I've always loved Kobe. I went to Kobe camp twice.
Okay.
With actual Kobe there?
Yeah. Pulls up.
That's like the point.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Don't you have to be invited to those camps?
No, you just gotta pay.
But it's...
Yeah, but like I was in the AAU leagues and all that stuff, so all that,
Yeah. That's cool.
So, I think Kobe being a great dad.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I think
cool.
that was
like beautiful.
And that kind of brought in a lot of people that were not basketball fans.
Totally.
To fuck with Kobe. That's why I was asking. Like
a girl dad.
Right.
A dad to multiple young women.
And that's
beautiful.
what I fuck with.
It's beautiful.
Right.
And it's because I remember when you had texted me about it, because I was like, no, it's because my friends texted me about it first, and I was like, it's a TMZ thing, because this is not I don't believe this is the first time Kobe's been like in a tragedy. I was like, that's a whatever burner story.
It was a good hour of not knowing.
Yeah. And then you had texted me when I had finally figured out that actually no, this was actually real. And then I was like, oh my God, him and Gigi. And you were like, and I still have the text message, and you're like, she was with him.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was it.
For me, that's the hardest part. That's the most tragic part.
But
it's so sad.
It is beautifully poetic.
Beautifully
Not
poetic.
their death, but the fact that they were together, and that the moment it happened, he was on his way to coach her basketball team. And he had people on his helicopter that were going to the game. And the thing I heard from his agent after was that Kobe had just texted him, hey, we got to get, it was a guy's daughter who was on the father who was on the helicopter, his daughter wasn't, but was like, hey, she's graduating from somewhere and she would really love a job in your organization. And he had texted his agent like, hey, we got to get this and this for so and so. And that's the last text he sent. So it was a great loss. I remember it was really hard. Richard and I usually will talk about everything under the sun, but we could not talk about it.
Yeah, I couldn't touch that one. It was like I didn't want to.
Really
it was I was that was terrible. It was like a loss in my own life. Yeah. It was really hard for me to. I don't really think I'm still through all the stages of grief.
Yeah, I still I have a hard time watching the highlights. The NBA did a fantastic job with the tributes.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing job. Mm-hmm. But I still have a hard time watching them. Like there was a new Nike one. Like, cause there's tons of footage out there, and I can't watch it.
Yeah.
Still can't watch it.
I will say that I think Vanessa Bryant has done an amazing job.
A woman.
Yeah,
she's incredibly strong and graceful and humble, and I pray for her every day.
She is a complete goddess to me. I do not understand that strength.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oof.
So that's definitely a low for me, and I would say that it's a low for Richard as well.
Yeah,
so I believe that's on the 26th.
That's a low. Can I launch the Kobe homage into a high?
Yeah.
Because Kobe is known for his discipline, right? Kobe is
Mamba
disciplined.
Mentality.
Yeah. Right? And I respect that. I respect that about athletes, that mental discipline. And so that's my high for the week. This week I felt much more disciplined in my actions and what I committed to doing.
Okay,
like work-wise, personally-wise, health-wise, family-wise. That felt really good. So
Mamba mentality.
Yeah. I give that. I was channeling, like, what do athletes do? What would Kobe do? So I give homage to Kobe with that. But self-discipline, it felt good.
I see what you did there. That was really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that and let's launch into the highs because that was a really long.
But it's a real low. That's some real shit.
And we still got true crime coming up. So
that's how I feel.
Man.
All right,
yeah. Get lower.
That was my high. Self-discipline for the win.
Let's get into some more highs with Mama Mentality. Mama Mentality is Kamala Harris being inaugurated as our first female vice president. Okay. I think that is the essence of Mama Mentality, and I think that Kobe would be so proud. So fucking proud of Kamala, especially because he has, 5 daughters? Right. So, yeah. So that was really a proud moment for me. For the first time in my whole life, I've had the privilege to watch the whole thing from 7 in the morning to 6 at night. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's about the time.
So you watched the entire inauguration?
It was on in the back. Yeah. I definitely watched the ceremony of it all, and then being at the Capitol and being sworn in as the day trailed on. Right, like they go visit the tomb of the unknown soldier. They do all these other things. He signed. He addressed his cabinet, and that was cool to see.
Does he have a full cabinet in place already?
Slowly but surely. I think yesterday or the day before he just did the Secretary of Defense, which is a black man, which I think is dope. I think he's really trying hard to diversify his cabinet.
And is he having a hard time getting all these people appointed?
I don't think so. Not that I've heard. Not that I've heard. I would assume so, just because that's how bipartisan works. But I haven't heard that. But it was really exciting to see the first female vice president be inaugurated and be inaugurated as a woman of color. This lady is South Asian and black, which
from California. Isn't she from the Bay?
She's from the Bay.
She's from Oakland, right?
From Oakland.
No matter what side or what part of the spectrum you're on, this is a historic moment in American history. It's amazing.
It is. But Kamala, I'm from California. I ain't forget.
We will not forget.
Yeah,
I'm still going to hold you accountable, and I think it's important that even though maybe the person we voted for is finally elected, that we keep our elected officials accountable because essentially they work for us.
They do, but,
I also want to shout both of you out for saying Kamala, which is how her name is pronounced.
So what are you hearing?
And not Kamala.
Kamala?
Yeah, because names and pronunciation, spelling, that's
important to you, right?
Very important to me.
What are some of the mispronunciations of your name?
No. My name's always pronounced correctly. It's never spelled correctly.
That bugs me.
It really bugs me because it's just a simple way to show respect. So it is Kamala, not Kamala.
Kamala.
And I'll be honest, I had to watch her say her own name before I learned that.
Of course.
Same thing with Rihanna.
But you're able to learn.
Exactly.
That's the point, is being able to learn.
And fix it and respect it.
Not Rihanna?
It's not Rihanna. It's Rihanna.
Rihanna. But yeah, I really hate people spell my name wrong. Especially in an email because I spell it.
My email is my name.
Yeah. Take the extra 3 seconds to see how I spell it and spell it correctly.
Yeah.
All right. But it was a powerful statement I posted the other day was ladies, make sure you're wearing your shoes because the glass ceiling, because Kamala Harris just broke the glass ceiling. And that was very emotional for me. I think it's powerful. I'm really excited to see what they do. But also I'm not fooled by the ambiance of
we will not forget
of the villain being defeated and the heroes coming in. No one's a hero yet.
Exactly.
Put your money where your mouth is, and I've learned that in the last couple years.
That's my thing too. It's dope. I'm when Obama was elected, it's cool. Little kids can see a person of color in a position of power. But I'm over that.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit more to get me excited about this shit now. So
fair.
Let's see you.
I completely agree. Put your money where your mouth is.
Right.
Let's see what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
I thought another high was MLK Day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Facts.
That day is always super powerful for me. The MLK Jr. Monument in Washington D.C. is my favorite monument to visit. It's carved out of stone and it's huge. And I think it's really symbolic for what MLK stands for, what his legacy is in the civil rights movement and in American history.
Yeah, like MLK Day, it's like I have a funny feeling about it. And if in the days that follow, it's like I'm never really proud. That's one of those days where I'm never really proud to be American. Like
It's true.
It's one of those things. It's like, man, I mean, we don't know for a fact if the FBI killed that man, but a lot of signs point to that, and it's like, fuck, man, like, it's fucked up. You know,
it is. The whole thing is fucked up.
Yeah.
But the legacy he left was powerful and impactful and resonates today.
Absolutely. You can't help but wonder, like, what he would have done.
Right. If he had
the opportunity.
Right, because it wasn't that long ago that he passed or was killed, assassinated. I think, though, that he made a way for all of these people. Like, if there is no Kamala Harris without MLK.
No.
There is no John Lewis without MLK.
Nope. Without all those people during that time.
Yeah.
All his supporters, because like MLK was the figure, but everybody at that time in that society working towards what he was working for are the reason why we're here today. So 100%. I honor not only MLK, who was a leader, but everyone who but supported him, followed him, believed in him, pursued his message. Thank you to all those people, to that generation.
Yeah, to being that brave.
Seriously. Yeah.
And I hope that if I'm ever faced that situation, a situation similar, that I am that brave, that I carry the spirit of MLK, Rosa Parks.
Yep.
To do the right thing. Do what's needed. All right. That was a good cover. Did we cover all our highs?
Yeah. I didn't cover my fishing high.
I know. I was just gonna say.
Let's get into it. Another high.
I went fishing on the day of the inauguration.
That's kind of cool.
Went up to Clear Lake.
I kind of like that.
Killed it. It's crappie time. People that know.
It's crappie time?
Crappie.
Crappie. Okay.
It's a type of fish.
Oh, I thought you said crappie, and I was trying to empathize. I was like,
No, it's a time to get on the crappie.
And crappie is a type of fish.
A sunfish.
A sunfish.
Beautiful fish.
If we wouldn't have lost the first 20 minutes of this pod, we would have gone into a very deep, curious conversation about fishing.
We can go back into it.
Me and Mix totally want to be on the lake fishing, and chilling and relaxing.
You can't.
But Richard doesn't want to take us because we don't know anything and we have a lot of questions.
It's one of those things, like I fish a lot. A lot of people don't know that about me, but I fish.
Richard is multifaceted.
Yeah, it's a big
extremely
thing in my life, my childhood.
You have shirts and sweatshirts dedicated to your love for fishing.
I got outfits for fishing.
Oh, jeez.
He's got the fit.
It's a whole culture. Like, it's a thing. And, like, when I grow up, I'm going to be.
Let's tell the people what one of your favorite stores is.
Fishing stores? Uh-huh. Bass Pro, Walmart.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we went Black Friday shopping there?
Yeah.
That's not I don't count that as a fishing story.
What? There's literally an aquarium inside.
A shop? No, thank you. I want to hear a story about you out on the lake.
Oh, I was just saying, like, one of his favorite stores is Bass.
His stores. I think you said stories.
No.
Oh, yeah,
one
that's
of his
a horrible
favorite stores
story.
is Bass Pro Shops.
Okay, stores. Yeah, no, Bass Pro Shops is dope.
Yeah.
They got a restaurant. They got a huge
We went
aquarium.
Black Friday shopping there.
Okay,
See,
all right.
I have a problem with you two noobs.
What?
Fucking with Bass Pro Shop.
What? I got invited there. I did not go on
I
my
have
own.
not been there since we went there last Black Friday.
I got invited to a birthday party there. That's why I went.
Hold up. There's a bowling alley there. What you mean?
And I love aquariums. What's wrong with that? You don't own Bass Pro?
I don't. Never will.
Oh, don't even start.
Remember last time we were in Bass Pro? And they treated me a little funny.
Yeah, they did. And then we went to
That's
the
funny.
You should have gone with
the
us.
gun side.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so, like, fishing, like, being outdoors, there's, like, this unspoken code amongst, like, outdoorsmen. There's no beef. There's no, issue with race. There's none of that kind of stuff amongst those guys.
I like
amongst those people, because we're pretty like-minded.
I like that.
We speak the
community.
same language. We understand the same things. But every once in a while, you get, you know, the good old boy, the proud boy, that kind of questions.
Facts. I forgot about that. But
Yeah.
you're right. We did. You
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
Not
I did.
me.
I did. But that's, it's not too common.
Yeah, but I've been in a couple stores with you, and you've gotten treated differently.
Oh yeah, but
And,
that's life.
But you have a really great way of dealing with
I
it.
have a great way of dealing
Great
with
way.
I want to hear.
It's great.
it. So typically what happened is, like, in retail, they'll if they suspect a person or wanna put the pressure on a person, they'll repeatedly ask you need help finding something, they'll just. And a lot of these stores, they have headphones and they communicate. So they'll like, oh, he's on this aisle. Go ask him again. So before I get to whatever item I'm looking for, I'll get asked like 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
So what I typically do is I'll say, yeah, I need help. I need you to push my fucking cart.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to hold my basket, hold my items.
Yeah.
And I'll just let them hold it. And they can follow me around. I'll never get asked again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll spark up some conversation. And that'll be the end of it.
Yep.
They fucking hate it. And I love it.
Because when you shop, you shop.
Yeah.
You ain't going in there to look.
Yeah, hold this shit.
Yeah.
Help me out. I encourage you all to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in there to spend money. Like, make these motherfuckers work.
It's great.
Yeah.
I think that's powerful. That's taking your power back. Like, yeah, I'm here and I'm here to spend some money. So if you want to help me, I've seen someone carry like this much and like, imagine jackets on top of jackets.
Just hold it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like that too.
But you're right. The last time we were in Bass Pro Shop, I forgot that happened.
All right.
So you watch this happen at Bass Pro Shops?
Yeah.
I don't know if I watched it, but he definitely told me after, because Allie and I were like looking at some girly shit.
I think you guys picked up on it after, because on our way out, I kind of pointed out the person that was doing whatever they were doing.
Right.
And sure enough, yeah, they were staring at us on our way out.
Oh no, I meant, did you watch Richard direct people to carry stuff?
Oh
him?
yeah,
I believe the racism happened. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I would love to watch. Someone follow Richard around.
Outlets.
We were at the Gilbert Outlets.
I love it.
Either in Adidas or I think it was Nike.
Oh
and
yeah.
we were 10
That's
minutes
right.
in.
I remember that story.
And he was like, yeah, actually you can hold this, and this. And that man followed Richard around like a little puppy dog.
I love it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Stop getting mad, because it would piss me off. I would leave, and it's like, fuck, dude, I really wanted those shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, I really wanted those.
Yeah.
So I got to go back in there or try to find them online. It's like, nah, like, you're going to deal with me, because I'm not in here to steal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's my hack.
I love it. It worked.
It works.
Anytime I've seen you do it, it's worked every time.
Hold my bag.
Hopefully, though, with like the way the tides are turning, that's not a thing. That you can walk into a store and
I think we're decades away from some shit like that.
That makes me really bummed to hear. But I want to say I do recognize my white passing privilege for
Ooh,
sure.
What's that?
Same.
White passing privilege. You look at me, you think my family is from Europe. We're not. My grandparents are Nicaraguense immigrants. My dad is straight up from Nicaraguense. His parents are. My other set of grandparents, one is an immigrant from Chile. Another one is a second generation immigrant from Puerto Rico. And I know that there's a lot of European influence in the Chilean culture, which is probably why I look so white, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
And Puerto Rican culture.
And Puerto Rican
And Chilean culture.
all cultures.
And Nicaraguense culture. Yeah.
But I am very much Latina, of Latina descent.
We are white passing though. Our skin's
I'm
very light.
100% white passing privilege.
I always get questions, what are you? Where are you from?
Yeah.
I often get like, are you Greek? Are you Middle Eastern?
I get Mexican a lot because of
I
our
get
last
Mexican a
name,
lot,
but
too.
I don't think I've ever gotten Greek.
No, I've always gotten that.
I've never gotten that. I've always Mexican or white, which
What are you?
neither. I will always tell you that I am half Nicaraguense, quarter Puerto Rican and a quarter Chilean.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
Very proud.
Apparently, though, my mom told me this year that there's some Jewish in us.
Oh, word?
Right. I was like, Mom, really?
Colonization, yes.
Because of colonization, but that
Right.
was wild. So I don't know. We'll see what's up with that. I need to.
Are you gonna do like genealogy?
I would love to do genealogy.
Why are you doing that? Like I dream a genie.
I need to pause.
We can't.
I think we're at 55 minutes. I think this is a good time to go into our true crime.
Let's do it.
Oh god.
It's
She's gonna look at me the whole time.
Wait,
And
maybe
then
it's not a good
and
time.
then she killed him.
it's a neutral situation.
No,
Dude, all I did is go to the bathroom, and I like 5 minutes, if
And
that.
we got some
And
good,
then something,
good conversation going.
Then y'all just went at it, knowing, all right, this is gone. Let's do it. Let's do the thing she doesn't want to be done.
no, it was gonna be a cute moment until a controversial question was asked, and that's where the fun comes in.
Right.
Anyways, let's move into true crime.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm ready. All right, guys, this true crime story I'm about to tell is actually it's hard to tell because it's so close to home.
Literally.
This is a story from the Bay Area. It's a very close story to me and Vicky, especially.
Do you think Morgan Hill is the Bay Area? Because I don't.
Yeah, I do. Sorry.
It's
I
definitely-
don't.
It's not the Bay Area.
I don't.
I'm from the Bay, and I went to high school in Morgan Hill.
It's
So,
not the Bay
Yeah,
Area.
but we're not from Morgan Hill. But we did
do you
go
guys
to.
want to jump into a controversy about what's San Jose, what's Bay Area, and what's not? Or
I
do you
mean,
want to jump into the true
Just
crime story?
You literally need to be near the Bay, which
But San Jose is a stretch, but
we're
San
20
Jose
miles
is
from-
considered the Bay.
we're 20 miles
All
from
right,
the Bay.
fine. This story is close to home for me and Vicky because it happened just outside of our local area.
Yeah.
So this is the story of Sierra Lamar, which, if you are a local listener, you probably know this story. If you are a friend of me and Vicky, which you most likely are, you definitely know this story. So
What you mean? Only
I'm
our
just
friends
trying to
are
keep us
listening
humble.
this?
I'm just trying to
Oh,
keep us
wait.
humble.
Hold
Humble
on.
means
Nah.
just kidding, Richard.
You gotta. Why does my mic sound like that? When you write, you write. Like, can't be. There's too much of that. Too much nice people. I was
I
right.
don't know what you're talking about. I'm just telling
You
the
talk
story
about
here.
being humble.
Yeah, fuck that.
Can I continue with this story?
Yes.
Anyways,
Continue. But I do want to interject and say, hey, like our numbers are fucking off the hook, and don't sit here and say our friends are listening.
I really thought I was saying it sarcastically.
Oh,
Did it
okay.
not sound as
Oh.
sarcastic as
Oh,
I
you
It
wanted
right.
to?
didn't. It didn't. It didn't have,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
it didn't have any sarcastic flair in
I
it.
need like a button when I'm being sarcastic.
Mercury. It's a
Okay.
retrograde.
Okay, go ahead.
Like a high frequency
You-
sound, so
Yeah.
you know in your head. Anyways, all right. So this is the story of Sierra Lamar. A really hard story for me actually to tell. I was just like doing some extra research this morning. It was really just hard to read through the articles
It's
and
very
watch the few coverage there is. It's very local to the Bay Area, the coverage, but there is some outside of it. So this is a story of her, Sierra Lamar. So the year is 2012. Me, just for some context, me and Vicky have both graduated at this point. We are. Oh, by the way, I should mention that Sierra Lamar actually went to the same high school me and Vicky did. A few years after me and Vicky graduated, very few, like 3 years later. So Sierra Lamar is a 15-year-old sophomore who's going to this high school in Morgan Hill. She lives in a unincorporated part of Morgan Hill, so a lot of
She's out there. She's in the boonies.
she's out there in the boonies, a lot of dirt roads, a lot of farmland. So Sierra Lamar is walking to her local school bus station in the morning. It's around 7:15, like she usually does every day. And something happens. So parents don't find out until later that afternoon. Mom comes home, doesn't find Sierra. She's not at home. She calls the school. The school lets her know that Sierra hasn't been at school all day. She's been absent, which is a terrifying thing. This is something I experience every day where it's like I have the front office yelling at me because I took attendance and parents are freaking out. So it's a real thing.
Right.
So this mom finds out at the end of the day that Sierra's been missing from school all day.
So
yeah.
school didn't like hit them up like, hey.
I'm sure the school did. Maybe it was connected to a home. This is 2012, people, so it could have very much so been connected to a home phone rather than a cell phone. So they left it on the
Wait,
home
hold up.
voicemail.
This high school is also pretty brand new because my class was the first graduating class. So by 2012, it's only been in operation for 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, this is that nice school on the side of
It's a nice
101.
school.
6 years. Yeah.
It's a pretty new school.
Okay.
Vicky was the first graduating class, yes.
Uh-huh.
Got it.
So parents call the police. Obviously, police don't really start the investigation until 24 hours have hit. But the investigation starts fast, and they start finding things really fast. Now, keep in mind, Sierra lives in an unincorporated part of Morgan Hill. So again, lots of farmland, no streetlights at night. And this is also the same land where Sierra Lamar lives on is the same road I take for my like relaxer ride. So I used to turn down the dirt paths, but I don't anymore. So Sierra lives on one of these dirt roads. Nice house, nice incorporated land, nice like home for her and her family, but very deserted, very quiet. Very.
Is this near like Coyote Creek?
It's very close to Coyote Creek, yeah.
Okay.
So Sierra usually gets to the bus stop around 7:25 in the morning. The bus rolls up, and on video surveillance, they have that she's not there at the bus. Parents come home, find out she's not there. Search ensues, and the next day they start finding things. So on another dirt road down this path where Sierra sort of lives about a mile away from her home, they find her cell phone, which had been turning off and on. So police were getting excited, like maybe she's like trying to contact someone. Maybe she's like been released and like someone is trying to get something to her. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they get these pings on the cell phone tower from her cell phone, but they find the cell phone in a field, and they realize that it was just water damage causing these pings on the cell phone tower. And more the police start thinking that she's been abducted. At this point, they haven't been convinced. Next day, they are driving down another road. This is Scheller Avenue, Vicky. I don't know if you remember that. So right before Palm, they find these like abandoned farmhouses, which are being used for storage at this point. And in the farmhouses, right outside of it, inside of it as well, they find her clothes. All her clothes, her jeans, her sweatshirt that she was wearing, which she took a picture of on the day she disappeared.
Yeah.
They find that
so
sweatshirt.
eerie.
They find her underwear and her undergarments thrown throughout this storage house. They take the clothes, they test them for DNA, and they do find DNA on it. They find DNA, they find semen on it actually, and that semen ends up belonging to a man named Antolin Garcia Torres. So once they find that, they start monitoring Antolin Garcia Torres, who is at this point, 21-year-old, lives in Morgan Hill in a trailer park down in like the depths of Morgan Hill, right up on San Martin. They start surveillancing him. They even send a undercover couple who pose as a couple to watch his house. Just to watch his movements, just to watch like, is he going back to the same place where this might have happened? Now they can't confirm that Antolin has done anything just because they found his semen on her clothes. They could have had a secret relationship. You know, Sierra was really upset about moving from Fremont to Morgan Hill and having to start a new school in the middle of high school. Like, there was a lot of things going on, so police had to really do their research, but they eventually investigate Antolin. And they ask him about his knowledge of Sierra Lamar, and he says that he has nothing to do with her. The only time he's ever seen her is in a picture on the news. And with that knowledge from Antolin and with the knowledge of his semen on her pants, they're able to arrest him eventually. Okay. So eventually they arrest him. There's a bunch of abounding evidence to Antolin doing something. They find her DNA in his car. They have surveillance footage of him not doing anything, but possibly before the event and after the event that lead them to believe that things have taken place. And so they're able to arrest him on that.
They didn't see her in the vehicle?
They didn't see her in the vehicle, no. But they do find her DNA in the vehicle, fingerprints in the vehicle. And he admitted that he didn't know her, hadn't seen her, only seen her on the news. So it's like that was a huge break in the case. Like, he's like admitting that I have nothing to do with her. There's no reason I would know her outside of the events that happened. And so finding her DNA in his car was pretty convicting. What's crazy is eventually Antolin Garcia, 5 years later so this happened in 2012. In 2017, finally Antolin Garcia gets hit with a crime of abduction and murder, and it's crazy because they convict him of murder, of homicide, without a body. They never find Sierra's body. They search for it wide and far. They take helicopters. There are search parties for months and months and months, even years, and they never find anything. They search.
I remember that.
They do like a helicopter search within a 300-mile radius, which is like half the state of California, and they don't find anything.
Yeah.
So to convict someone without a body is a huge deal. These can't prove there's been a homicide that's occurred, but because of the amount of evidence against him, they're able to convict him. Once they get some evidence against him, then it becomes even more interesting because, Vicky, and you probably remember this, in 2009, 3 years before, what is that, 3 years? 4 years? I don't even know. 3 years. 3 years before. This is when I'm still in the high school where Sierra Lamar went to later on. So this is my graduating year. And there was a number of attacks at a Safeway parking lot in the middle of Morgan Hill in the night, very late at night, like around 11 or later.
Safeway, because there's 2 Safeways in Morgan Hill.
Right.
The Safeway off Dunn.
And the Safeway off Tenet.
He's done.
But this one's happening at the Safeway off Dunn.
No, this one's happening at the Safeway off Tenet.
Oh, I mean Tenet. I'm sorry.
So Angelin Garcia happens to be an employee at the Safeway off Tenet. And this is the same location where in March of 2009, 3 different attacks take place. It was between like February and March.
Oh, I didn't know she worked at that Safeway.
He worked at that Safeway.
But she never did.
Wait.
She's like 10.
She's like 15, right?
She's 15 when she's abducted. She must have been like 12, 10 or 12, 11 or 12.
But who worked at the Safeway?
Angelin Garcia Torres, the one who gets whose semen is found in her clothes, whose car they find Sierra Lamar's DNA in. So he works at this Safeway. He's about 17 years old, same age. I just want to name more of the same age. So while he's probably going to the other local high school in Morgan Hill, and I'm going to the other one, and he's working at Safeway. And there was so these attacks happen at the Safeway, and it's all the same thing. So it's women coming out, going grocery shopping late at night, probably when they're off work, when they're done with their day, going to the grocery store real quick, trying to grab their groceries, and they get attacked in their car. So a couple of different things happened. The first one was a woman who was like, she noticed there was someone walking quick behind her, and something diverted his attention. Another one was a woman actually got in her car, and someone casually just jumps in the back, starts punching her in the head.
Mind you, this was like a very rich time in Morgan Hill. Like the bowling alley had just opened up. We were all starting to turn 20 at, like, if you graduated in 07.
Exactly.
We were all super tight, and we all started to turn 21 around this time. So, like, we started hanging out downtown.
Yeah, there's a lot of adults in Morgan Hill at this time enjoying life.
Because we were kids that turned into adults in Morgan Hill.
I mean,
exactly.
It is still Morgan Hill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, so a bunch of different attacks happened to these women who are grocery shopping, going back to their car in the Safeway parking lot. And they were able to tie, after getting his DNA, they were able to tie him to those Safeway attacks.
That was
every single one. So this is where I wanted to show you the picture, Richard.
I remember that was really crazy that the same guy.
Who you think can we use this picture? Can we put it in there?
I think
so.
It's been
so
in a
the picture on the left, and you're gonna have to scroll right. I'm zooming in here, but the first picture on the left there is the composite drawing of the Safeway attacker. And I zoomed in, so you don't need to scroll the picture, but just scroll to the right. The second one is Angelin Garcia's like arrest pic.
Oh yeah.
So you the similarities is very evident.
Yeah, for sure.
So they got the right guy.
I mean, the only thing that's missing from the composite picture is his goatee that he has in the second pic.
And this was happening years before.
Yes, about 3 years. What's interesting though is the Safeway attacks happened around March 18th, March 16th. Sierra Lamar gets abducted March 16, 2012.
Wow.
So there's some speculation that Sierra could have been sold into some sort of like human trafficking ring. There's a lot of different theories about what happened to Sierra Lamar, but I think it's just so sad.
That's crazy.
She was known for like being super bubbly, like energetic. She was the light of her family's life. It's just so sad.
It's so sad, and that was a huge story in our community.
Huge story. Angelin never said anything about the crime. He would refuse to admit what happened.
Yeah, so what's the end result in his? Like, he's in prison now?
Yes, he's in prison now. He got accused. He got, what is it called? Confined for all 4 counts. So the the homicide of
Convicted?
Sierra Lamar. Convicted, yes, of Sierra Lamar, and convicted also of the 3 like attempted abductions from the Safeway parking lot.
Wow.
And he's in jail until the end of his life without possibility of parole.
That's crazy.
Recently, I just read an article this morning about recently, December 31st, 2020, he finally breaks his silence, and I'm doing quotations with my finger marks. He breaks his silence on the case, and still thinks, or still believes, still says that he's innocent. He didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Which has been an extremely frustrating part of this case is the fact that he refuses to say anything. He won't say what happened. He won't admit to anything, and so police are sort of at a standstill.
I don't even know what to say about that. That's like, why? Then what was the point? If you're not going to admit to it, then what was the point? For what?
Yeah, still maintains his innocence.
Okay. Well,
Crazy.
that is a crazy story, and I remember it happening as I think I was a junior in college at that time. So like having this happen in my hometown, and it got national coverage, and it was huge story. And the fact that we don't have a resolution now is insane to me, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
That one really hits home.
Women, be careful, man. Like,
yeah.
I tell every woman in my life, like, be careful.
Yeah. Like, she was on her way to the high school I graduated from. That is insane to me that something like that could happen there. Okay. Well, moving on from true crime. You okay, Christina?
Oh, man. What do I do for a camera?
What you doing? Are the cameras okay? Oh, my God. All right, Joe. Should we move into our topic of the day?
No, we should have our own conversation.
Okay. You and me?
Yeah.
All right.
While Christina goes potty.
What do you want to talk about, Richard?
I know, but we should fight.
What do you want to fight about?
I
don't like fighting with you. It's not fun.
Yeah, I know. Because I always win. But hold on a second.
Oh no, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulties. Oh, did you turn the mic on? You did it. We're acting like we're new to this today, but we're not. This is our 6th episode. We Gucci, okay. Well, I don't want to fight with you, but we can argue. We can debate about something. I don't like fighting with you. Because we both get riled up. I'll have you know, did we talk about this? How you came in and we had to reset the vibe?
Oh, yeah.
We already did that today. I don't want to do that again.
You're big mad.
I was big mad. Okay, what do you want to pose?
You know what's funny?
What?
Is when I saw, I was like, she's trying so hard.
Not to be mad?
Not to be mad.
Yeah. But you know that shit gets me riled up.
Yeah.
Fuck, is this as awkward for me as it is for you?
That's the type of energy you need to approach.
Because it's really awkward for me. It is weird for me when you guys debate. Because the thing is, like, I know you better than anybody else. Would you agree with that, Christina?
100.
I know you better than anybody else. Richard, I know you very well. And the top 3 people that know you the best, Vicky Diaz is one of those people. Would you agree? So it's like I know
that you are drunk.
Yeah, a little, yeah. But like I know I know both of you very well. So it's like when you guys argue, I'm like, because I know what you mean. You're not meaning to be a dick, but sometimes you are meaning to be a dick. But Christina is like being serious, and sometimes you're being funny. Not all the time, but it's like it's weird because I know both of you very well, and then when you guys do this, I'm like, it's like I want to step in for both of you. Like, that's not what he means. That's not what she means. This is what she means.
Please don't do that.
I didn't do that. Clearly, you can see it on my face, and I was like, fuck. And I hope the audience is with me, man, because let's not forget.
What?
I mean, let's not forget that there's 3 people in this pod, and one of them is like, fuck, sitting here with her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is the main star not getting enough attention
No.
in this podcast?
That's not you.
I'm just kidding.
That's bullshit. You know that's not even my personality.
Relax. I'm just
but like
kidding.
The other person on this tripod is like, fuck, what's happening? Okay, anyways.
You're on a tripod?
What would you call it? A trio? Tripod? Trio? Whatever you want to call a 3-person show. But the person on camera is the one making all the faces like, fuck. This is awkward for you, this is for me, because this is terrible. I hate this. Okay, but I also know that it's the journey of you guys building your own, forging your own paths together.
Exactly.
And I will have to endure most of it because I am the bridge.
It is okay to have different opinions.
Richard and I have you and I have different opinions about things all the time. Richard and I for sure have different opinions all the time. I think it's just the way that the conversation happens that I'm like, ooh. I know both of you are not afraid of other people's opinions. That's not in your guys' character. You guys welcome other opinions.
It's how you grow.
It's how you grow. You both believe in that.
All right, we'll take this as a growing moment for you.
Yeah, for real, growing. But that's also like trauma from.
I'm here to grow you too.
Me too. Me too.
Good. I'm glad that you reacted that way because that's exactly how I wanted you to react.
I think me and Richard really do think alike a lot. I think we have very similar pathways in our brain.
100%.
It's just we have different.
We just have more caveats because we're women.
We have different perspectives,
but similar
thoughts.
Very similar values, and that's exactly the fundamentals of everything, right?
Right.
All right, let's move into a non-polarizing topic for us. Good God, because I swear to God, I think my stomach is starting to hurt.
All right, Chihuahua, relax.
It's that tea.
Yeah, seriously.
It's not the tea. I feel great. Okay, quiet down. All right, topic of the day. Last week, I want to make a disclaimer that last week I said that, or not even last week I said, but like we watched the pod together for the first time before we published it, and I said, and I turned around and I said to him, I think there is a time limit to chasing your dreams. And I think I kind of alluded to that on the pod, that I think there is a time limit to chasing your dreams, but I want to retract that statement. Because watching Joe Biden, who is 78 years old, the oldest president to be inaugurated to date, was inspiring. Because he is proof that it is never too late to chase your dreams. But I do think there is a caveat to chasing your dreams that old. You better have the tightest squad supporting you to do that, because I just don't think that anybody could, like, I love my sister, but if my sister is on a journey to be the best whatever she wants, it's going to take a lot of me. If I'm going to support my sister until she's 78 years old, that's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of support. And like, you don't expect everybody in your life to rock with you till you're 78, but I'm your sister, so I'm going to do that. Right?
Appreciate it.
Right. And like same for Richard, like if he wants to chase his dream at 78, like I better be ready to go on that ride with him. Right. And anybody that I love to, like, and I want them in my life forever, I better be ready to withstand that, because I don't think it takes a weakling. Like, Joe Biden is no weakling. Like, he is definitely older than most, but
yeah, he gives some strong shoulder rubs. He's definitely not a weakling.
I'm sure on his family, it's been taxing for him to chase his dream of becoming president. But because they're tight and they believe in his cause, they did it. They really did it, and we saw them do it. So I want to retract that statement that there is no time limit, but the caveat is that you better have some people in your corner that are really down for you.
And I think another thing to add to that is, like, during that journey, you should be chasing that dream like there is a time limit.
Yeah.
You are working towards it, whatever that is, you know. You should, but there really isn't. You just, failure after failure, you should just keep continuing and whatever you're after.
Failures, like, I think would trip anybody up, but I think they are the most valuable lesson to be learned. Anytime I failed, I have learned a lot. And it takes a really upstanding person to get up, because it's easy to fail. Like, you're gonna fail, but to like keep going and trucking on down your path, I think there's strength in that, and I think that is the bravery that we all need.
For sure.
Like, we're not gonna succeed at every first try.
No, you're right.
Like, how many times have we put the pod? This is our 6th pod. And how many times have I seen you do it and watch you do it and try to mimic you, and I still mess up today?
Yeah. No, that's for sure. Like.
But, like, am I going to do that same thing next time? No.
Probably not. Well, you don't have a job, so there's no next time. But if somebody else were to hire you, I'm sure you wouldn't fuck around and get fired again.
Okay, so that means you're going to show up at 11.
She did not get fired, people. She did not get fired.
She is no longer the PA.
I am the PA. All I'm saying is
from that job. Okay, yeah, no, you did get fired. Sorry.
What job do you think I'm talking about?
The one she was talking about.
My old job?
Yeah, your old job.
No.
We weren't
I was
about
not
that.
fired from that job.
Man,
both
sorry.
the Diaz
I was
sisters is
texting.
lit. Christina Diaz be making. I shouldn't put
You're
your whole
lit
name
too.
out
Your
there.
drink is empty.
Okay,
Yeah, but
now they're all gonna Google me, and everyone will find me on my work phone.
We already said that our last name is
like
Diaz.
that last guy.
I'm proud of my last name.
All right, well.
Anyways,
Don't say mine. And then, but Christina, she makes a hell of a drink. I think we need to post these drinks because every pod I've had a spectacular drink.
Oh, I should have made more.
Like elephant tranquilizer.
I should have put it in a picture.
Yeah,
Elephant tranquilizer.
they're pretty good.
This shit is-
Hold that back. Wait. Hold up.
Yeah, Joe, chase your dreams. Shout out to you, old nigga. But these drinks.
They're good.
I agree.
good.
That's more interesting.
We did a race to silly.
Oh,
Who's the
we
silliest?
all won.
Whoa. I'm on my 2nd one. Christina and Richard are done. Whatever.
I didn't have 2. You had 2.
He only had one.
Yeah, I had 2.
Oh, that's why I'm sober. And you 2
Yeah,
are.
hurry. Should I make you another one?
A little lit.
No, because.
I want
All
another
right.
one.
I know. I want another one too.
I'm just saying. Okay. Hold on, y'all. You guys are missing my point.
You guys got plans in a half an hour. We gotta get going, right?
Oh, now he
Those
wants
plans
to,
will
now
only
he wants
be-
to use what I said against
They
me.
will only be in more exciting with another drink.
I agree. Okay, back to what I was saying.
Yeah, we're all over the
You
place.
better get your squad tight if you want to if you are gonna chase your dreams until the end of time. And now I'm a believer in like going after what you want, no matter how old or young you are. Do it. I've also been reading Gucci Mane's Guide to Greatness, and that book, in a time of where I'm feeling anxious about what are my skills and unsure of myself, that book has been a blessing.
That's
I
dope.
agree. I read only the table of contents, but I was like, all the different chapters are all things that I do and I believe in. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, shout out to Tyler who recommended that book and then handed me that book to
That's
read.
dope.
It is a dope
Shout
book.
out to my
I
boo.
like it. I
I think we need to see more of that. Like a lot of people hear that you said Gucci Mane, and they're like, oh, they're not taking it serious.
Yeah, because it's
But
Gucci Mane.
we need to take people serious. You know what I mean? People that don't fit the mold,
That book is great.
but they broke through. You know what I'm saying? And
They
have some gems to offer.
Dude,
He didn't become Gucci Mane on accident. Christina, what are you doing?
I'm through the. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a mess today. We're really off our vibes. You said to do it.
Christina just got up.
Christina's getting up.
She's gonna
and
pass one of
passing
the
through.
cameras. There's one.
Okay, there she goes.
She's gonna bump into another
She's on her
one.
way to make the drink of the day. Anyways, I'm gonna spit some facts about Gucci Mane.
Thank you.
Excuse me, not facts, but one thing that he says in the book that I read yesterday I read and I was like, wow, that's powerful. He said, we underestimate ourselves and overestimate our enemies, or overestimate our opponents. And I thought, damn, you're right. Like, oftentimes I will sell myself super short and then overestimate a Joe Blow when it's like, I know I got the quip, I got the tools to battle wit or to fight through this thing, but oftentimes I will give the win to the opponent when it's really not deserved.
Thanks.
Highly recommend that book. There's so many gems in it. I actually want to buy a copy for myself so I can annotate it, but I'm not because I borrowed it for now. But yeah, I'm there. So saying all that to say that I don't think that there's a time limit to chase your dreams, but you better have people in your corner who are actually for you, because there's plenty of people out there that want to fake the funk with you because they think you're going to do something.
Fake the fuck?
Fake the funk.
Okay.
Fake the funk for you, with you, because...
You said fake the fuck. I'm just saying.
I think I said funk, but okay. I'll go with... I mean, I'm not doubting that I might have said fuck, but I meant fake the funk for you and with you. But, like, I've had plenty of friends in my past that you don't see around the round table anymore. And they were, you know, riders for life, but maybe not for life. So I'm very aware of that.
Yeah.
I think that Biden has been super successful in keeping his circle pretty tight. Like, he values family above all else, and that was very clear on Inauguration Day. And, like, whenever you think of Biden, like, you think of a family man, stemming from his days as a senator to his days as vice president to his days as a president. Family matters, and I think that is super powerful to see. Thank you, Christina. But yeah, as I've gotten a deeper dive into his family, his grandkids.
Hold on, pass number 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, this one's better than the first one.
Oh shit, she's
all
over the light. It's dripping on the light.
Oh my god, the camera, Christina, the camera.
The computer.
Okay, guys, if you're not watching on YouTube, Christina just made a drink. She's passing through.
But
the camera is shaking. Oh my.
I'm going to buy you guys bigger cups.
What's going on?
You want a bigger cup?
A labyrinth. Okay, guys, I think we're okay. Sorry about that. This drink is good. Good job, Christina.
It's very good. Thank you.
As you do a deeper dive into his grandkids to be particular, like, you can see, like, the impact that they're trying to make on the world, that they stand for his own values and, like, stand forthright in them. One of his granddaughters, Richard, you will appreciate this a lot, wore unreleased Jordans, wore a tux to the inauguration. I don't know if it was a ball or a dinner.
Who are we talking about?
I'm talking about Joe Biden's grandkids.
Oh, yeah, I saw the shoes.
I bet they're all very... I'm sure you did. Did you see Kamala Harris' nephew-in-law with the... Christian Dior's Jordans? Yeah.
I saw those.
I think they called him Secretary of Drip, which...
That's pretty tight.
It's cool. But... Okay, moving on.
It was definitely on all the sneaker blogs. It was there.
Yeah. It was a moment for pop culture, for sure. I'm just saying, I was just noting that his grandkids are definitely, like... what's the word? Like, listening to the beat of their own drum.
Are they, or are they pandering? See, because I see it as that.
I don't know.
I'm very. I see it a little different.
If I'm gonna keep it real, I haven't done a deep dive into the Biden grandchildren. I think it's cool that it looks like they were listening to the beat of their own drum, but I'm not really sure, so I'm gonna have to watch and observe. If I'm being honest.
See, specifically, like with this administration, I'm pretty pessimistic, and I'm watching.
Yeah,
so I see
I
see a lot of stuff, and I see that shit. Like, I saw the shoes, I see it, but I'm like you could have done the traditional thing. You're a fucking president and a vice president. Like, you can get your people in line and say, hey, this is how we're going to present ourselves. Or I'm going to wear the hypebeast Jordans, the most sought after Jordans 2020 and now, and pander to the next voting generation. That's how I saw it instantly.
I'm sure you're not the only one. I'm sure a lot of people who are woke sneakerheads saw that.
Yeah, the shoes are dope. Like, but at the same time,
that's not your issue. Your issue is,
like, are they pandering?
What was because everything is purposeful on that day, right?
I think everything is intentional.
From the colors that Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama, and Joe Biden wore, to the shoes that were worn on the family members of these very important people. Nothing goes unnoticed, and it was, like, purposeful that these 3 prominent women on stage wore a shade of purple. And for those of you who don't know, it represents the colors of bipartisanship. So, like, when you mix red and blue, it makes purple. That was the purpose of the purple theme within these 3 women.
Yeah, that's cool. I fuck with that.
I do too, and the
I
fact
get
that they,
yeah.
the like, even from like the designers that they chose to wear was really important. But
I just get defensive when I feel like I'm being pandered to. I just like,
yeah,
get the
that's
fuck out of here.
that's
Like,
completely fair.
like from Joe's comment, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. Like, fuck you. Like, fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can have an opinion. I have a mind.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean I'm not black.
Right. It does not mean I'm not black. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and even if you didn't state it correctly, like, bro, this is not the time to be fucking up.
Right. But it's also to speak to his human side, right? Like, we've all had human sides. I'm definitely not excusing Joe for that, but I'm sure he's learned from it. I'm sure he got a talking to after that situation. Right. But I don't know if I see that yet. I guess I like you, I'm gonna watch this administration very closely from what they're doing, from what their family members are doing. But I also know that they know that there's a spotlight put on them. So let's see what it does.
I mean, I hope they know, and that shit don't work. Like, just
Kamala's niece
doesn't work.
Is very involved in her campaign. So and like her husband is the one that wore those shoes. So I'm sure they're very aware of the impact. But let's see what they do with it.
Yeah, just so they know that shit don't work no more. Like, we don't give a fuck what you wearing.
Right. Like, that's pretty old.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I am pointing this out to say that, like, it is important to have the right people around you. So I wanted to ask you guys some questions that go along with that. I do want to say that there's a lesson to be learned with his journey.
Dump it.
Is that
this game?
No, we're not playing the game. It's a question.
Oh.
I'm saying there's a lesson to be learned in Joe Biden's journey, that to keep people in your corner that are going to run the race with you. Okay. So I don't think that if he was doing it by himself, he'd get this far. It just doesn't happen, right? Like, at some point, humans run out of steam, and we need people to cheer us on, and that's how we keep going.
Yeah, can I weigh in on that?
Sure.
I have to give a shout out to my best friend. What should I call her? My best friend.
I think she's okay with using her name.
Her name is Sienna. Mm-hmm. She's very easy to Google for my Googlers out there. But this woman has kept it chill with me for decades, and she's my number one support. She's my home.
Facts.
No matter where I am, uncomfortable, new, strange, scary, as long as she's there, I'm home. So that I 100% agree with that. I think that was a beautiful aspect of the inauguration. And you said something earlier, Vicky, where you were like, you could see them soaking it in. You could. That was powerful. It was exciting to see. It was exciting to see Kamala smile at her inauguration, be so excited. And I feel like that's what my best friend does for me, even with like silly things.
100%.
Like finishing our workout this morning, she's smiling. She's so excited. She's so proud of us. So 100%.
When I think about her, it makes me teary-eyed because she is extremely supportive.
So supportive. And
even to the point where, like, if you're wrong, she'll check you, but she'll check you with love.
So much love.
But she wants to see you succeed, and people, not even just you, but like people in your life succeed and do great things.
So I 100% agree with that. I don't think I've known this girl since I was like 12 years old. Mm-hmm. I would not be where I'm at today without her on that journey.
Right, but it speaks to, like, you have to have the right people in your corner 100%. To succeed, because you can only do so much by yourself.
Exactly.
And I think that is the point, the thing that we're learning about being Americans or like the human race. Like, we can only take ourselves so far. And, like, don't get me wrong, as an individual, if we want to, we can take ourselves very far, but we can take ourselves further when we have the right people in our corner.
Exactly.
Right.
For sure.
I think one thing I'm learning to do is to accept help. You know what I mean? To accept people in my corner.
Hard.
Because I like to, I want to do it myself. I don't want, because I can't stand it when people try to take credit for your success. Like, I cannot stand that. Like, support me. Like, go ahead. I appreciate it. I'll support you. Mm-hmm. Hype me up. I'm going to do the same. It's not a one-way street. Yeah. But the second you try to take credit for my accomplishment, like, nah, it's dead it.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather, traverse that road on my own. And there are some good people out there that, like Vic, you're one of them, my girl's for sure.
Yep.
And I often don't accept the help.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. But people who know you know that, and they keep pushing.
Right.
Yeah. And they keep offering.
Yep.
Yeah, that's dope.
I'm the same way too, Richard. Sometimes I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about it. Or,
right.
No, Richard's I don't want to do that. I'm totally like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the friends who are still there and like every time you've denied them for their support and their help, and they still offer it every single time, big or small, that's those people that I want to
Definitely, you two are like that. Like, even if you guys don't want my help, like, I'm still gonna put it out there, even though you know it's there. All right, if you need me, I'm here. Because I think sometimes that's helpful. Even like with me, sometimes I don't want people's help, but I have people in my corner that will say, "All right, Vic, like, let me know." And it's like, I'll never let you know, but it's nice to know that you're still offering.
Right.
All right, so I got some questions for the pod and for us.
Okay.
And this speaks to like keeping people in your corners. I think we all agree that that's fucking key. That you can only go so far in life by yourself, that you do need people to help you carry that torch. There have been times in my life where both of you have carried the torch for me when I couldn't carry it myself.
Years and years and years.
How long?
Years.
Right. But it's powerful to have people in your corner that believe in you so much that they're going to keep carrying that torch until you're ready to carry it yourself. So I want to know, what are some non-negotiables for you guys in friendships? Not relationships. That's a different story. I'm talking about friendships.
I have a few.
You can go first.
I think we talked about it before. Like, if things do go, like if there's an issue, not having the ability to actually resolve it, like just to clear the air, when it develops into some passive aggressive bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
you said that last pod.
That's a problem for me. Like,
yeah.
I want to be able to be open with you, frank and honest. And you know that it's not an attack on your character. It's just just I'm speaking of the moment, whatever we're going through. So your inability to recognize that is a deal breaker for me.
All right, Christina.
Yeah, I resonate with that. A non-negotiable for me is just lack of integrity, lack of follow through on what you say. I want a friend who says they care and then they act like they care.
For sure.
So, I mean, I know that's really vague and that's really big.
But it's also really basic.
Yeah. What's funny about me and what's funny about you, the dichotomy between you and I when it comes to friends, like you have tons of friends from every aspect of your life, you can like almost not categorize your friends, but you can say like I made this friend in 2014 because I was doing this at this time, whereas I'm more like,
sure,
I've had this friend since I was 12 and she's pretty much A. Which is almost true.
Yeah.
And
I've
so
definitely like
I'm trying to think about like what makes that friend so special as compared to the rest, and I think it just comes with honestly integrity, just like who I trust, who I like don't trust, whose opinion I care about and whose opinion I don't.
Yeah.
So question, have you not made new friends because you have a hard time trusting?
For sure. I'd say, yeah, for sure. I sometimes I just don't even trust that you care that much about me. That's why I think it's hard for me to make friends with coworkers, whereas Vicky's excellent at making friends with coworkers, which I think is really great. Vicky can make, like I said last time, Vicky can make friends with anyone and everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you meet your friend?
If I'm invested in them, yeah, for sure.
For me, a friend is someone who I can like be real with. I can have multiple identifiers of my personality can be with this person and they respect them all. Someone, I don't know. See, that's a hard question for me. That's a good question, Richard. I need to reflect on that more.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop there, guys.
Okay, but both of you are
more.
But hold on, both of you are standing on the fundamental of integrity. Someone who can admit to their wrongs and someone who walks what they talk, which is always what we've been told integrity is. Like,
right.
You say what you mean and you mean what you say. But I believe that is one of the things for me. The minute I see that integrity is huge for me. The minute I see that we're into an argument and you can't admit your fault, but I have already admitted my fault, or maybe I'm not even in the wrong here and I'm just saying like, hey, like when you did this, it really made me feel like this, and you can't step up to that shit really bugs me.
Yeah.
And I had a friendship recently that ended over that type of shit, where I I said, yo, when you did this, it made me feel like this, and they couldn't own up to it, and I was like, this is so basic.
Right.
What is the
Right.
is all of our years of friendship worth you not owning up to this one shitty moment? Like, I'm not saying you're a piece of shit for this, but I am holding you accountable. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I hope that my friends would hold me accountable if I've hurt them. Like,
Yeah, I think evidence has shown that they will, and they do.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I want to say that, like, with my sister and with Richard, like,
Yeah.
there have been plenty of times where you guys have held me accountable, or I've held you guys accountable.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay.
It was good. It felt good. It felt like someone knows me, someone's guiding me. It always, for me, it feels always good to have someone in your corner. And I feel like, for me, when someone's guiding me, someone's pushing me, I do feel like they're a guide in my corner. I think some people can feel like that's it can be oppressive sometimes, especially if, like, if
it does.
for lack of better words, but if integrity is lacking in that moment and what you're advising me is completely selfish and crazy and toxic, fuck that. And I think some people can't tell the difference between that.
Right. But I'm saying, like, in times in my life where I've been acting shitty, you guys have held me accountable. Or, like, if you guys were, like, doing something that really bugged me and I've held you guys accountable, it wasn't like a big to deal. It was like, obviously I've had to, like, play my cards right. Like, I'm obviously not going to come at Christina anytime when she's already pissed off. Like, I obviously know, same thing with Richard. Like, I'm never going to come at him when he's already in a heightened mood.
Yeah.
But once you guys have come down and I've confronted you guys something, or you guys have confronted me in a time where I've calmed down, I feel like it's always been a growing experience. But that is to say that is not the thing with everybody. But, like, if I'm trying to be more like that with all my relationships that I really give a fuck about.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, let my guard down, because this person means more to me than my pride.
Right. Sorry,
And, like,
Rich, we cut you off, Richard.
Oh, I'm
no,
sorry.
I hear what
Richard.
you have
I
to
didn't
say.
mean to do that. I'm sorry.
Vicky kind of said it, but I think, like, egos don't really have a place in close relationships.
No,
you know?
they do not.
And, like, guy friends, egos can be massive. So it gets kind of hard calling your friend out, like, you did this, that, and the third.
What is that like in male relationships? Because I'm a female,
I was just going to ask.
I have a lot of female male and female, but male is very new to me. So tell me what that's like.
I mean, to be honest, it ends a lot of relationships because friendships, I should say, because like the male ego is just it's too much. It'll just simple basic shit, just stuff that could be resolved in like a 2-minute conversation. And that goes back to like, hey, like, I should be able to talk to you about this. I should be able to, I'm never going to, with my male friends or pretty much any of my friends, just like burden them with my feelings, and because I'm a playful person to begin with, so I don't really take
that's not you.
a lot of stuff personally. I'd rather joke it off, but when I do encounter some serious shit, it's like, hey, yo, that's not cool. And if your ego gets in the way, like, fuck it, I'm gonna dead this, because like, we're not at the same place. This is not a two-way thing. And I've had that. I've had relationships with people, and I miss them to this day. But at the same time, like, I can't go back because we're at different places. And that ego is in the way.
I just got the flashback of when you and I were not friends, and I was at work, and you showed up at work, and we
didn't talk.
I was in my desk area, and you walked by, and we just, like, for me, it felt like we locked eyes, and it was just both of us were, like, not willing to drop the guard down. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I remember.
That was tough for me, because I heard your laugh, and I was like, I know that laugh.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I don't even think maybe you weren't live, but your voice, I heard your voice, and I was like, I know exactly whose voice that is.
What were you thinking? Like, what were you going to do?
At first, I thought it was
Okay.
and I was like, I was hoping it was but I knew it was your voice.
I'm going to bleep that name.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. But in my heart of hearts, I knew it was you, and I was like, fuck. fuck, what is this gonna be? And all I could do was look at you. And I even said to Christina when I came home, and I was like, I saw a ghost today. Because you were the ghost. And I remember that day, and that day for me was very real. It was like, damn.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if it was normal ass times, you and I would have drove to work that day.
Yeah.
Like, we would have carpooled together. We probably would have gotten... I probably would have picked up McDonald's breakfast for us like normal, and we would have gone to work. But that day was really rough. And then...
Now, my ego was definitely in full swing because
Mine too.
I remember that was about a week before the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up spending my 4th of July around the corner. And I bought about $1,000 worth of fireworks, allegedly. I'm not admitting to...
love.
And allegedly love. They were... Yeah, you niggas are in Clubhouse or a trip. I got a story about that shit, too.
I want $1. It's a good story.
Yeah, so... And I was like, man, I want to go set off one of these at Vic's. Because I went around to all the, my people, and I was like, hey, we can't go out. You can't go see a fireworks show. Here's a fireworks show. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And you were literally around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you heard him. Because
100%
we were going hard. But yeah, that sucked. It really sucked.
I know it sucked. And like you and I looked at each other like we're both not gonna say shit, but we're gonna stare at each other because it's like we're both gonna like stick it to each other. I'm gonna stare at you until you don't stare.
Nah, you didn't do that. You put your head down.
I did. Probably,
and that made me sad, to be honest.
It was sad for me to see you
because we first had that energy, and then you put your head down, and I was like, oh, poor thing. Like,
I'm getting teary-eyed because I remember,
I'm joking. I didn't say
but
poor thing. I was like, fuck, that sucks.
Okay.
But,
you guys are going to see me wipe a tear, but it's fine. But it was really hard for me to see you.
Yeah. That sucked.
It sucked. And I know it sucked for you. And then I went outside, and I saw you sitting on that bench, and I was like, what would I do? What would he do if I went up to him and said something?
Okay, just for the future.
And
when we fight again.
Okay.
I'm on the bench.
I'm not going to fight with you like that, but go ahead.
I'm going to hear you out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you were wearing a bucket hat, and I believe I'm always wearing a hat.
A bucket hat?
Right. I remember he was wearing.
My grandpa used to wear those.
Your grandpa is fly as fuck.
He was.
And I've actually seen.
But not purposely.
But I'm saying that to say, like, I thought of going up to you and saying, like, hey.
Nice hat.
Totally being me with you, like.
Whack ass hat.
Yeah. Like, what are you.
I mean, hi.
What are you wearing right now? And I could imagine, but I don't think at that time you would have received me well. I think you would have been like.
I don't have it in me to receive some shit like that with hostility. Like, I can't like. Fuck you mean?
Why did you?
And even if I did, I'd be like, fuck you mean? This shit is polo.
Did you assume she would have hostility?
I would have said something smart to him for sure.
Oh no, we were hiding.
Not at the point where she saw you.
Yeah.
Not at the point where she saw. Like
no,
this
no,
day,
you're right.
As a sister, this was a hard day for me too. For you to come home and just like have that type of emotion. That is sad. It's sad to like have this like close, deep best friend and then not be able to have him. I've experienced that before.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult.
It's really hard. So that was hard for me to watch too. Why did you assume she would approach you with anger?
No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't.
Okay.
No.
I'm saying I would approach him with sarcasm, like, nice hat.
Yeah, because how else would you approach that situation?
That's exactly. That's exactly how I would have approached it, and I was afraid he would have looked at me stupid, like he didn't know who the fuck I was.
I was confused.
But that was my ego talking, like, he's not gonna accept you. Well, don't go up to him.
You know what offended me on that day was, I'm not saying you said this, Richard, at all. I don't know who said this, but like, somebody made the comment of like, oh, did Vicky just come here because she knew Richard was going to be here?
Yeah, that's what somebody said to me.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I know you did. I know you did not say that.
I know who said that.
I don't care who said it. What offended me was that someone fucking said that.
Kimra, I'll tell you who said that.
Yeah, they said that to me, and because I asked, I was like,
"That's offensive."
Is she been here every day? And they're like, "Nah, it's fucking weird that she's here."
No, because I remember that day she was just like, "Oh fuck, I gotta go in today," blah blah blah. It was just so out of the blue, and I'm like, "You're taking away from the fact that was probably a moment that was like supposed to happen." And making it seem like it was like some conniving purpose. That offended me because I'm like, ew.
Yeah, but I knew that.
That's
like,
just me being defensive sister, though.
Of course. But like, I knew I wasn't there out of like.
I know that too.
And I know you didn't.
I didn't know. I didn't think about. I
didn't
really think about it.
You thought I was there purposely to see you?
No. You did?
I thought it was interesting. But I didn't care. Like I was like. I didn't care. Like the person put it in my ear and said what they said. I'm just like, oh, that's weird. And then we deaded it, but like I didn't feel no ways. I'm just like, okay, well,
because at that point you were carrying that place on your back. So I'm being a defensive sister right now. But yeah, in that situation, that was like, fuck you.
You mean the place I worked at? I was carrying that place.
Yeah, not Richard. The place that you worked at and the assumptions that were made when you went in to take care of what you need to take care of.
Yeah. Anyways. But that's funny that person that said that to me also said to me on 4th of July was like trying to garner my sympathy.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like.
That's another deal breaker. But
from their perspective, not from your perspective, but from their perspective, like, why aren't you guys friends?
That's another deal breaker. Like that funny in between shit.
Yeah, that is a big deal breaker for you. Okay, sorry, we got off topic a lot.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker for me. Like if we're mutual friends, like I don't need you to pick a side. No. I don't need you to get involved. I don't need you to, like, because you know this about me. Like, I don't speak, even if I don't fuck with a person, I will never, and I know you have a friendship with that person, I will never salt it. You know, I will never speak ill of that person. That's just not in me. So I don't like it when people do that, you know? Like, I don't need you to cater to my feelings. You weren't involved. You're not a part of this. And I really don't, if we're mutual friends, like, stay the fuck out of this shit.
Yeah. And I think it's safe.
And I don't have a friendship with a person because of what we went through. And yeah, I don't. And it's simply like I have no real problems with this person but the fact that they interjected themselves into our situation. Mm-hmm. And I don't fuck with that. You don't have to, like, it's good.
I know.
But
I'm not going to, because you know what I think.
Yeah, I think, like, hey, if two friends are going through something and you happen to be, just let them do their thing. Like, you don't need to, because when the shit settles, you don't want to be looking stupid. You said what you said. You had no reason to say that. Or you didn't, like, this person didn't say anything, but you had no reason to interject yourself.
Yeah, you're talking in generalizations, right?
I'm talking in generalizations right now.
I agree, but anyone who knows you knows that about you, that, like, you don't like people acting funny. If what you act like on Mondays, the reason is better be how you're acting on Thursday. That's I like consistency. And I was gonna say continuity, but consistency is a better word.
For sure. Like that's a huge flaw, and I pay attention. Like I pay attention to that of behavior. Like
yeah. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to integrity. Integrity is huge to you. Mm-hmm. It's huge to Christina and I. Like, my parents have always taught us that, like, people better you watch how people act rather than what they're saying. So, shout out to Carlos and Janet Diaz for that lesson, because that has saved me a lot of times. All right. Okay. Next question is, and I will answer this first if you guys want, but have you ever ended a friendship because of these deal breakers or like any sort of thing, and why? I've ended many friendships. I have a really good friend that I won't name, but she knows who she is, and we talk about this a lot, like ending friendships because we didn't fuck with how they were moving, right. And we're like, it's kind of a funny thing in hers and our friendship, that we kind of talk about, like, we just don't really put up with the bullshit and we keep it moving. And like, people have told us we're cutthroat for it, but also we've decided that we like are protecting our energy, protecting our integrity, and protecting anything else that goes along with it by being like, hey, like, you're not moving the way I'm moving, so I'm gonna dip out on this friendship. And it's kind of been a thing that we've bonded over, that we let it loose when it needs to be let loose.
Right.
So I want to know about you guys. Like, have you guys had to end a friendships because people have dabbled in these non-negotiables with you? Because I'm not afraid to end a friendship. I'll let you know, like, this isn't working for me. Like, clearly we're on two different paths. But, like, as I've gotten older, I've realized that, like, integrity is super important. And, like, if people in this stage of life don't value integrity, that's someone I can't really mess with. But there are other things that, like, I'm understanding of. But, like, integrity is one of those things, like, I'm not willing to
be flexible on.
I'm not willing to be flexible about integrity. Like, integrity is what it is, and if you don't have it, then I can't mess with it.
Yeah, I would say the same. I would say after that, my next non-negotiable is, I don't know. It's hard because the next level, I think, is like coworkers, and what coworkers am I close with versus what coworkers am I not close
Integrity
with?
is my number one.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think it comes down to that too.
In all things, and I'm very lucky that, like, my family, like, mom and dad have taught us that integrity is what it is. And, like, as my two sisters also value that above all else, and I try to keep my circle above that. Like, yeah. Is integrity one of those values?
I think the next lever for me is, like, what am I learning from you? Am I learning from something new, a new perspective, a new outlook, a new, like, character strength? Yeah.
I'm not gonna dog you because you think differently than me, but better you. As much as I'm ready to defend that and explain that to you, right. I'm hoping that you are also ready to maybe not defend, but, like, explain your point of view, because I'm a lifelong learner. I want to learn what you think. Yeah. But my question was, have you ever had to end a friendship because of they didn't meet these non-negotiables or things, and why, or how'd you do it?
I've had to end relationships, which were a friendship.
You want to talk on that?
Yeah, I had one really significant relationship with he was a man. He was
your boyfriend.
He was my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
He was my best friend. I felt like he knew me inside and out. We felt like soulmates, and I think we still are soulmates. But I did not end up with him. He's not in my life now, and it's really sad. And it's been sad since he's been gone.
Oh, shit.
Hold on, upside down. Do you think that we have soulmates for every different parts of our life?
Yes, I believe that we have multiple soulmates. I don't believe that you have to end up with your soulmate. I think soulmates can be different things. Yeah. I think Vicky's my soulmate.
So I don't understand. Please explain.
I think a soulmate is just someone who was meant to be there, who was meant to vibe with you, someone who was put there on purpose. I don't think it's necessarily the person you're going to end up with. I think Vicky's my soulmate. I think Sienna and Paula are my soulmates. I think my sisters are my soulmates.
Okay.
I think this man that I'm speaking about is my soulmate. I don't think I needed to end up with him, though. Not something when we did break up. That was something we even named for each other. Like, you are my soulmate, but I don't think this is where it ends, and I don't think this is where I'm gonna end up with you.
It's important to be noted that soulmates are not always the person we end up with, but they are important people to our journey.
Very important. I would not be who I am today without this person coming into my life. Yeah. And it was sad. And I think it ended not because 100%. Of anything wrong with him or wrong with me, but just like, what do we want in the future? Or we align on what we want in the future? And that's what ended us. It's just like misalignment and what we wanted to do with the future.
I think we've all had pretty significant relationships in our past that we felt like this person is really important. And maybe we won't name them as a soulmate, but maybe now in the moment we did. But like now I wouldn't name that person as a soulmate, but I would back then think this person was really important. Richard, would you agree?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's important for them to know that they had a significant purpose, whether or not it was our term to end it or theirs, but it's important to like you had an impact in my life, and whether it was good or bad, like you made an impact, and I'm moving forward.
I will not be the same after you.
I will not be good or bad. I will not be the same.
I will not be the same after you.
I will personally say that I'm glad that that person is not in your life in a huge capacity because
I agree.
But I also think that
to grow.
And that person was a catalyst for your growth.
Exactly.
So
do you ever think there's an opportunity to kind of revisit like the friendship?
That is my greatest hope and dream that could happen.
Okay.
But again, I'm a realist.
You're making a lot of faces there, Vic.
And a lot of it. I'm a lot of a pessimist. I know how she feels.
she knows. I don't fuck with him. I think he was a bad dude. I think you deserve a lot better.
He was at all.
But I also know that you value him, and so I moving forward, if something was to happen, I would do my very best to support you and really support you.
Like I said, that, and this is a topic I think we should explore on the podcast one day, is lost hope and dreams, but not in a negative way.
Okay.
Like,
I'm open to that.
I think he's always been a hope and dream of mine.
I don't think he's a bad
finish.
dude.
Let me finish.
Go on.
He's a hope and a dream of mine, and I agree. He's not a bad dude. So
I don't think
I'm
he's a
not
bad
even
dude.
going to try to defend that.
He's not a bad dude.
You're just very productive as my sister, as I am too.
100%.
So my hope and dream is that things could be perfect, and the soulmate that I thought was going to be my soulmate of all soulmates would come back. But I don't believe it's going to happen anymore, and I don't think lost hope is such a bad thing. And there's that man who was like, I forget his name. I need to look up his name, but he was like he was a prisoner of war during the Vietnam War, the Korean War, and
John McCain.
No, it was John McCain. It was another man, but his like catchphrase, his thing was known for like, hope is not a strategy. And I think that's something I learned this year is like, hope is not a strategy. It's not what's gonna like get me going. So I mean, what's my plan behind it? What's my action behind it? But yeah, hope is a big thing, and I think lost hope can be a powerful thing too.
I agree.
Shout out for you being honest.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I will agree with you. I don't think he's a bad guy.
He's not a bad.
He's a
very good man.
He is.
He just.
I think he's a lot
was
of
meant for
learning
me.
and growth to do, and then we shouldn't hold that against him.
Yeah.
But I want more different for you.
I do.
As
want
you would
the
want
same
for
myself.
me.
Yeah.
And
I
you
want
want
the
for
same
yourself.
myself. Right.
Okay. Cool. Richard, what about you? Have you had to end a friendship because they didn't meet your non-negotiables?
Yeah, for sure. With like a really good friend, you know, and it really sucks. The thing about this friend though, like they had a history of doing some of the non-negotiables, but excelled in like the other things, like being supportive and being, you know, just.
Is this a different friend that I'm thinking about?
I doubt it. Probably the same guy,
Okay.
but like, you know, just a really good friend. Like that's my brother. You know, that's
okay.
where we're at.
It's the same guy.
But just always had these little things, you know. But I always look past them because that's my friend, that's my brother. But it got to a point where we're getting older, and I'm recognizing like, all right, cool. Those little things that you're doing, like we're supposed to be moving, like that's supposed to be old shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting older now, like we're, you know, that's kid stuff. And I'm not like he's still stuck in that shit. So yeah, I deaded that and think about my friend all the time. But you know, I figure if it's meant to be, we'll link up at some point. But
100%.
I just don't know that. I think that male ego is stronger on his side than it is on mine. Like I'm willing to just like. Fuck it, we have so much history that we could pick up, you know?
Right.
We could pick up and do some shit.
If he hit you up, not if you hit him up tomorrow, what do you think his response would be?
I don't know. I don't.
You think he'd receive you the way you'd receive him?
Yeah, probably. But that's not really the issue. The issue is just some tendencies that he
and
has.
it's been a long time.
Right.
It's been like what, 2 years now? 3 years?
It's been about 5 years.
Oh shit.
So the tendencies, like I won't know if he's grown out of them unless we talk about it.
Yeah.
Or if we're confronted with a situation where his ego would be an issue. But yeah, I don't know.
That I have for sure have friends that I grew up with that I don't fuck with anymore, and I would like to think that I would like to have the attitude that you have, Richard, that like if they came up, I'd be willing to welcome them in, but there are certain friends that I don't think I would.
Yeah.
There's been very different ideals displayed throughout our lives, and some things I can't forgive. Like I said, I think I said in the first or second episode, like there are certain things I'm not willing to forgive.
Right.
And I'll be accountable for that because I think I hold that type of standard to everyone that I'm that is close to me. But there are just certain things that I will not forgive and will not tolerate, which is a lot of the reasons why I've had to terminate some friendships.
Yeah.
And it's sad because I think I'm fairly young for, I'm 31. A lot of relationships I have are from middle school or elementary or whatever, and we haven't been alive that long. 30 years is not that long, if we're being real. But there are definitely some things that I learned at a very young age I will not tolerate, and I will dip out on real quick.
As you should. Like we grow and we go different ways. And like,
yeah,
we used to say that my way is the right way, but his way might be his way, and that's just the universe. Like, hey, directing our paths, and it's just not in the same direction.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I have like a really like standout case in my brain, and I don't want to go into too much detail about it because it's their business, but like a business of like, I'm just gonna say it, domestic violence. Like I will not tolerate in any sense of the word.
Absolutely.
And like I've had to terminate friendships because of that. And
somebody beat you up?
No, not me.
Okay.
Not me. Thank you, Jesus, not me. But I've had to. Yeah, I've been around that situation, and it's friendships I don't have in my life any longer, and that's been really tough.
Can I ask questions about this, or are we not going too deep? I'm not going to ask names.
You can ask questions, but I'm not going to tell you I'm going to answer everyone.
Okay. Was this person abused or the abuser?
Both. I was friends with both.
Oh, wow. That makes sense. You just don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah, it's tough.
And I'm willing to guess that they're probably still together. Yeah.
I think so. I don't really know, but I'm assuming they are. Christina's saying yes, so I'm assuming they are.
Yeah. Isn't that fucked up?
It's heartbreaking to me for many reasons, but it's heartbreaking, and that probably was the relationship that I think about the most that I've terminated, and because it's sad.
Yeah, and yeah,
it's one that I think is probably one of the longest friendships I have in my whole life, and it's not there anymore, and
right.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Moving on. All right. Do you guys think conflicts make your friendships stronger? Because honestly, I do.
I think if you can bounce back, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. If you can't bounce back, I've had a friendship that I've ended on. What's the word? What'd you say? I've had a friendship that ended over a conflict that I wasn't really aware that was gonna end. I wasn't trying to end it. I was just saying like, yo, when you did this, it made me feel like this, and it ended because I felt a type of way about it.
I think I know about that.
Yeah, you for sure know about it.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
That was weird because maybe I was in the wrong, but she didn't even tell me what's up.
Yeah, that was weird.
But I'm not backing down from that argument because I think I was.
Now, is that a deal breaker?
People who can't admit to their wrongs, absolutely.
No, I'm saying like for the ability to like have a friendship, what would it take for that person to get back in your life?
Just to be like, hey, that was kind of shitty of me. My bad. I've done a lot of growing since then.
Okay.
Can we move on? Sure. Because my default action is I want to forgive you. Like, I want to forgive you and move the like,
right.
You know this really well. Like, once I admit my wrong or you admit you're wrong, I'm ready to move on. Let's move. Like, put it in the sea of forgetfulness and let's keep it moving.
Right.
Because I love the sea of forgetfulness.
Like, let's put it in the sea of forgetfulness, and
that's a great place.
Yeah, but you have to, like, admit to your wrongs. I'm not just gonna put it in the sea of forgetfulness because you wanted to be there.
Oh.
You better own up to your shit.
Why are you moaning like?
and I better own up to my bullshit. But in this,
Sea of forgetfulness.
In the Bible.
The Bible?
When you confess your sins, they go into the sea of forgetfulness.
Is that a real place in the Bible?
It's a real place.
100%.
Oh, wow.
That's what Jesus says.
That's cool.
And I think
you haven't heard of the sea of forgetfulness?
I mean, I know that's a place.
It's on every map.
I mean, it's program. I know every woman I ever known knows how to get there.
I'm sorry. Huh? Oh wait. Okay. Be on the same page.
Every time I was right about something, they like to put it in the sea of forgetfulness. Can we put the camera on you?
She's got a very serious face right now.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm not phased by it.
You are sounding cocky again.
Okay, what I'm...
Cockatoo.
Alright, what about y'all? What do you guys think of conflicts in your friendships?
Honestly,
told you,
I don't have that many conflicts in my friendships.
But why is that?
Because I...
Do you only mess people? Do you only mess people who think the same way as you?
Similarly to me, yeah, because that's the type of energy I need in my life.
Okay.
I don't mind people thinking differently than me, but it's just like, what energy are they like passing off?
Okay. Not that cocky energy. If you're cocky, and that's a deal breaker.
You're cocky with nothing to back it up. Yeah, it's a huge deal breaker.
I think the conflicts and the ability to like resolve them, like they definitely strengthen relationships, and I think.
Yes, I agree. That I agree with. I just haven't had as many, but I agree that is a great strength in a relationship. Yeah, you have.
I'm not afraid to argue with my friends.
No, you're not. You're not afraid to argue. Period.
Now, Christina, do you not argue with friends for the sake, or out of fear?
Again, my friends can be whittled down to one hand.
Okay, so on this one hand, how many of these friends can you be honest and open if they do something that hurts you, or do we sweep it under the rug?
That's a good question. I think if it was my close friend, I would just tell her, or I would let her know in some way. She would be able to tell.
And
my language, body language. Yeah, she would receive it.
That's cool. That's dope.
But I wouldn't say there's a lot of friends that have had to be like, yo, I don't like the way you're treating me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely not.
I also think,
and
not to say that me and her haven't had conflicts in the past. Like when we were in our teens and our early 20s, conflicts all the time, communicating all the time. I think we just know each other really well.
So so you've gone through it. You've gone through that.
Oh, for sure.
See, I think that's, it's a strong relationship.
For sure. We've gone through it.
See, I know after our first disagreement or conflict whether we're going to be friends or not.
Yeah.
You mean with anybody?
Yeah. If we can't disagree in a healthy way, there's no way we can be friends.
Seriously.
Totally.
But if we can, I don't care if we share the same view. Like, it's dope. Like, oh, I'm a bro. Like, I'm a and debate is fun for me. So I'm like, okay, let's, cool.
You love to debate.
Yeah, it's like, oh, maybe you'll be my new debate buddy. You know what I'm saying? we'll debate. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. I think I take a more conservative approach to it because I'm very slow to let people in, but like I'm also very quick to let people in.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I don't just let anybody in, but I'll let someone get to know me and I'll get to know them and then I'll make a decision.
All right, fine, that's true.
Fine. But I really do enjoy getting to know people.
Yeah, I don't. I think I'm at the age where...
You don't, but the funny thing is you put me on to a lot of cool people. Like, nah, They're actually like this. You should get to know them. Give them a chance.
Yeah. But I'm also a really good judge of character.
I agree. You and Christina are both, which is crazy
Annoying.
to me.
Yeah, I can just pick up on little mannerisms and
Yeah.
people that I fuck with,
And I'm very quick to judge a book by its character, which I'm trying to break. But I honestly haven't met anybody new in a long time because we're in quarantine, so.
What about the grocery store lady? She hit you up or what?
Oh, I actually hit her back up because the day she hit me up was when we were trying to like launch the pod, and I was busy focused on that, and then I hit her up a couple days later. And she texted me back, but nothing really much has come for it, which is okay. I'm keeping that door open.
Oh man, you're so drunk.
What do you mean?
You'll hear it.
The music? I hear it.
No.
What do you mean? Oh no, I'm scared of what I'm gonna hear. All right, y'all. To wrap this segment up, all three of us value integrity, walking what you're talking, making sure you're not. I really hate when people put a 10 on a 100. Or 2 on a 10. You know what I mean?
10 on a 2.
10 on a 2. Is that
right.
the word?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a little lit. We will put a 10 on a 2. Like, super exaggerative. It bugs me. Makes me hard to believe, yo. That's a kind of a non-negotiable for me. Even though I kind of do that myself.
She's wasted.
What? No, I'm not. You're lying.
I'm like, that's a totally random topic that we haven't even discussed before.
Putting 10 on a 2?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, we haven't talked about it before, so you're bringing up a whole new topic.
Okay, we'll save it for the next pod.
It sounded like you were trying to wrap things up, but you brought up a whole new segment.
I was trying to wrap things up.
All right.
Well, why don't you go ahead and wrap it up for me? Go ahead.
All right, folks. We talked about a lot of things tonight.
Hold on.
Oh.
No. Wrap up the segment.
Wow.
You just interrupted my flow.
I
did. I also did.
Bastard.
Hey, tell them about the playlist. It's updated.
I was just trying to wrap up that segment.
Oh man.
The new playlist.
I'm
The
sorry,
playlist
Carlitos.
sorry, Carlitos. We are adding more to it as of today. There's more added.
Yeah,
So watch out for the playlist.
Are you saying there's more added today?
To the playlist, yeah, I added it today.
I was being sarcastic. All right, bye.
See,
I gotta go.
You gotta put more sauce on it, so I know
You just said 3 different ways that we've uploaded and updated today.
All right, y'all. The SNS
Wait, what?
playlist has been updated as of today, and I will continue to update it throughout the weekend. Because unlike some people, I need some time to find good music. I'm not just gonna put shit on there for you guys. Now that I'm saying these guys would, I'm just a little more meticulous because it's my brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm gonna be making a new lo-fi beat that you can.
Oh, you
I
are?
love lo-fi beats.
Make a new one.
You are?
This one's gonna have the old lo-fi beat.
I love the old lo-fi beat, but I love lo-fi beats in general.
Okay.
If I'm gonna be,
Now I'm sounding like you, Vicky.
if I'm gonna be,
That's what I'm trying to tell her.
protecting Richard, or what?
What?
Why do
no
you
one
sound
brought that
like
up
me?
except you, because I sound tipsy and you sound tipsy,
That's
bitch.
what I've been telling her.
Okay, the lo-fi beat though, if I put the pod, not that I'm listening to myself for an ego way, but like listening to myself to make critiques, the old lo-fi beat puts me into a lullaby. It's a lullaby.
It is.
It puts
It's really
me to,
nice.
It puts me to sleep, and not in a, but you know what I mean, like not in a boring way, but like in a soothing way.
Yeah,
right,
chill
Richard?
way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I like it. I really like it.
I do
a lot.
too.
That's the point.
I was gonna try to mimic it, but I can't. All right, y'all. So that's it for new music. You guys got any other points you want to wrap it up
Yeah.
with?
Tune into the YouTube. Follow us on all your favorite platforms. Don't DM me.
Did anyone DM you?
No. That's good.
I wondered.
Because I
Okay.
told them not to.
Right.
I know.
That's good. It works.
You
These
could
disclaimers work.
feel free to hop into my DMs. I answer them. Okay. All right, Joe. We will see you next week. You can follow the pod on IG, Twitter, YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and like. We're streaming on all major platforms. If you want the full experience of kicking it with me and my squad, you can watch us on YouTube. Until next time, all my love.